hors d'oeuvre table, as you would call it?
Not as much because it's too big.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So these are for the sheet.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Here's the trachea. The trachea will split into a primary bronchus and another primary bronchus.
Is that when you said when someone chokes, it goes to the left, right? Is that the one?
It's the one to the right.
To the right, okay.
So this one has a less acute angle than the one on the left.
Okay.
So anything that comes in is going to go in that direction
Okay.
because of a less acute angle. Now, where this breaks off, that becomes a secondary bronchus. Secondary goes to tertiary. So, again, 23 orders. These little tiny holes are the bronchioles. Okay? And they, in turn, would lead to the alveoli. Now, can you see what I'm doing? You can separate primary and secondary pretty easily. And if you just pull, normally you can just pull out the entire bronchial tree. But I've got tertiary and I've got a secondary. And this would be visceral pleura. Here is my diaphragm muscle. This is the parietal pleura side. Here's the diaphragm muscle. Here's the parietal peritoneum side. Notice how rough and ridgy it is. So, once we've done that, we can then flip it over and we're going to look at the parietal pericardium. Take that off and we're going to get to that stuff. That's the visceral pericardium. So parietal forms a wall. And this is one of the big vessels from the heart. Here's your pulmonary artery, or pulmonary trunk. This is the left atrium. And your right atrium is right there. Now, on one of them I found a little bit of thymus. I think it was this one here. This is the thymus gland.
Which one?
Okay.
What's the purpose of the thymus gland?
The thymus gland produces T cells, which are also known as cytotoxic. What they do is they punch holes in the cell
I
membrane
remember.
to help break the cell down.
Okay.
And if you have HIV or you're HIV positive, the number of T cells drops. So that means the thymus isn't working quite as effectively.
Okay. So is it located above the heart, or?
It's right above the big vessels of the heart. So if we had the cat, then we would be able to see that. you got a little bit more. At the vessel. But this is definitely thymus.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the lobes of the lung. Now this can get a little confusing, but what I need you to think about is it would be in you like this. So this, if we had a longer trachea, it would sit like that. Here's your hyoid bone. Okay. Then here's some tongue muscle, which makes sense because the hyoid will protect and support the tongue musculature. Directly behind the tongue is going to be the epiglottis. The opening is the glottis.
The epiglottis is the flap, right? You said that prevents.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then back here, that would be the opening for the esophagus. Do you see the rugae or the ridges? It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be accommodating. You can actually see. Yeah. See my, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So the trachea is actually behind. So, or actually the esophagus is behind.
Can I see it from the inside with your finger? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here is your arytenoid cartilage. And then here is the opening.
So the food goes where the cartilage is, and then there, where you have your finger, that's for the air, right?
No, no, no.
No.
Let's get this.
Yeah.
This is for the air.
Okay.
Behind, because this flaps this way.
Oh, okay, got it.
So the food's going to go there. And it would help if I actually stuck something down there. So where the forceps are, where the food will go.
Okay.
Where the air will go is there.
That's where she puts the pen.
Now, what is it when a patient has a barium swallow done, where they check your inside, see where the food's going down?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like where it's going down your airway?
No. No, it's going down your esophagus.
Oh, your esophagus. So that's why they have to have like their bed up when they eat, like, to a
Yes.
certain angle.
Yep. That's because they're regurgitating.
Yeah, it's going down.
They're taking food from the esophagus and dumping it. Or, rather than dumping it from the esophagus, it's actually going backwards from the stomach into the esophagus, and it takes away the lining. Because usually you have a very thick layer of mucus to protect the lining of your stomach. Once that gets worn away, you now expose your stomach to hydrochloric acid and pepsin, which are designed to break apart proteins. So then you can eat a hole through your stomach. That's a peptic ulcer. My dad, when he had his, he actually went right through an artery. So he was hemorrhaging.
Because it will destroy the artery, right? The acids of it.
So his stool was black and tarry, and the doctor thought it was